Hotter Than Health podcast, a plant-dominant podcast for those looking to expand and elevate their lives. Each week, we will bring you provocative conversations and topics, entertaining interviews, and some of the biggest names in health and wellness to answer your burning questions. You will leave each episode with tangible tips and takeaways and understand what it truly means to live an energized and optimized life. Hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Hotter Than Health. Today we have a nutrition and wellness holistic Q&A, and I have some great tips for you. Like I mentioned in the most recent Q&A, we are going to have a little bit more of a format. We're going to have some structure, which means we're starting with one part, and then we have tip number 1, then we have the Q&A, and then we're ending with tip number 2. So you're getting tips, you're getting tangible takeaways, as promised, as always. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Make sure you hit subscribe because now I can see numbers and it's amazing. It's also terrifying because you can see the fluctuation, which is fine. It's normal. People come, people go, hello. But it's kind of cool to see new people subscribing. It just means a lot. I appreciate it. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, hit follow, subscribe, whatever button you need to hit. And then if you're on Spotify, just hit follow. It means the world. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to give a quick shout out and a quick public service announcement for anyone who lives in Charleston who's looking for something fun to do. Okay, I met a friend the other day. I was out at a grocery store and I bumped into someone, and you know how you meet someone and you accidentally just hit it off and chit chat and feel like you're just supposed to be meeting this person. You're thinking, oh my gosh, this person doesn't even realize that they're making an impact on my life, whether it's just their positivity or their gumption and the way that they handle certain situations. You see this person, you admire them, and you think that, wow, this is a really cool person, and how can I support this person? Even if it's just in the smallest way. This person that I met, his name was Mike, and we got to talking, and he ended up letting me know that he has a clothing brand. He is a musical performer in the local Charleston area, and even more, he's performed with Little John. He is just the coolest guy. He spoke so highly of his music and his passion for what he's doing with the arts. So here's a little shout out for Mike. So coming July 23rd from 4 p.m. until 1:30 a.m., so Saturday, July 23rd, you can expect at Tobin's Market, which is this awesome bar music venue downtown in Charleston. 8 b-boys are coming from all across America to compete in a one-on-one break battle tournament for a $500 cash prize. If you've never experienced a break battle tournament, it's extremely entertaining and it will blow you away. Side note, by the way, breakdancing has officially been an Olympic sport as of the 2024 Olympics. So a couple of these guys are going to be competing at the Poorhouse on July 23rd. They're also going to be training to be in the Olympics for breakdancing. Legitimate official DJs from all over the Carolinas have a scratch showcase where they're going to showboat and show off their skills from scratch vinyl records, and extremely cool. It's definitely going to be a must-see. There's going to be live graffiti art done throughout the entirety of the event and on the outside of the Poorhouse. It's really cool to see the progression of the mural throughout the day until its completion. So it's kind of like a live time lapse, if you will. So this will be a live hip hop band. Some of the coolest musicians in Charleston are going to come together, and the headliner, MikeLive. All right, pure high energy and entertainment at its finest. There's also going to be rap performances and a rap cipher. Also, Livelihood, Mike's company, is going to be selling some of their clothes from their clothing brand, and it's going to be sold all day at the event. It's sponsored by Tobin's Market, supplying all the food, and I believe it is at Poorhouse. So make sure you're checking it out. It is July 23rd. That's a Saturday. The Elements Hip Hop Show, July 23rd, 4 p.m. until 1:30. If you have more information about it, I will put a link that he sent me in the show notes. Honestly, this is not a paid advertisement. This is nothing except for supporting a friend. I definitely want to check it out. I've heard his music. I posted it on my story the other day. He's just a cool dude doing cool things in the arts and creative space. And I just think that it's important that we support all different types of music, all different types of arts, all different types of expression, and his passion for what he's doing is so motivating towards me. And sometimes you just meet someone and you know their soul is good, and that's what it is. All right. So make sure you check it out. If you have more questions, check the show notes. All right. Today's episode I'm excited for because I had a couple questions come through in Instagram. And by the way, if you are on Instagram and if you are one of the people who follow me or we follow each other on Instagram and you do work through Instagram or social media of any kind and you're noticing that Instagram engagement is low, it is wild how quickly engagement can go down on social media on certain days. I try and not really look at the numbers. It's not a huge deal to me, but when you go and you're trying to crowdsource information or you're trying to get a poll from people, it's just different because they don't expose stories as much as they used to. There's different algorithms. Now you have to make videos in order to basically be more like TikTok to get... Anyways, I am on TikTok more often, so if you want to check out more information and tips, and I'm actually posting a lot more videos on TikTok than I am on social media or on Instagram. So if you're interested in that, then absolutely check it out. It's just Eliza G Wellness on TikTok. Okay, plugging is over. Today's episode, we're starting with one review, and then we have a tip, and then we have our Q&A, and then another tip. I'm super pumped. If you haven't noticed, I've been traveling a lot for work, and for anyone, I haven't even spoken about this on the podcast yet because it is fairly new, so I'm going to keep it close to my chest for a little while, and then I'll talk about it later on, but exploring some new adventures. Nothing is changing with the podcast. It's still my everything. Nothing will be changing there, but I am adding on some things into my life that are making me really happy right now, and I feel like are a really fantastic fit for where I am, what my purpose is, why I am delivering the kind of messages that I'm delivering, how I can deliver them better. I'm just very excited to have some of the opportunities that I've had recently. Hello. I've had 1 cup of coffee today. When I say one, I mean half decaf, half regular coffee, and something about it is just hitting me stronger today. Jack. Hello. Hey. Okay. Let's get into today's episode. I am very excited for this. We are going to be starting with a mini testimonial in case I just wanted to float my ego a little bit more. All right, testimonial from a nutrition client that I had. I have struggled with hormonal imbalance accompanied by cystic acne, and your meal plan has helped me more than any topical medication I've ever tried in my 27 years of living. Not to mention, I used the InBody scanner and was down a few pounds, but more importantly, I was 1.8, almost 2% down in body fat in just 3 weeks. I could go on and on about the changes I feel and I've experienced. More energy, less afternoon slumps, regulated hormones, and clear skin, all while genuinely excited for every meal because I know it'll be delicious. That was from a nutrition client that I worked with for 3 months, and we essentially healed her cystic acne. We went through a lot of different protocols and figured out what type of nutrition was best for her specifically. And also we figured out her fitness schedule because she was going so hard in the gym, but seeing very little progress, and her skin was breaking out. She had low energy, and we really just deep dived into her lifestyle, what was going on, some situations that had gone on in her past that had led her to making certain decisions with food. And I'm just really proud of this person. Again, that is to let people know, hey, I am still accepting nutrition clients if you are interested in figuring out more if this program is a good fit for you. If you're just curious about it and you're thinking, hey, this is something I've been curious about, but I'm not positive that this is something that I want to do or pursue right now, this is an opportunity for you to schedule a 30-minute consultation call, and it will essentially break down what your goals are, what you need, and how I can be helpful. If we find that it's a good fit, we can get you started. If it's not a good fit, we will not get you started, and that is all good. You can go to anywhere on my Instagram, click on the link in my bio to book a free strategy call. It's just 30 minutes, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and I can leave you with some resources that will at least give you some clarity at the end of the call. Great. Let's get into tip number 1. I just mentioned a second ago when I went on a magpie tangent that I was having my second cup of coffee. And when I say second cup, I still mean half decaf, half regular coffee. I talk about this often that I am very sensitive to caffeine. Mama doesn't need a lot. I like the 4 milligrams that are in decaf. I do not need a lot of caffeine, which is why I do half decaf, half regular. As I have been doing more and more research, and this has been over the past year and a half, maybe 2 years that I've been doing more decaf, maybe more, I'm not sure. Time runs together. But as I've been incorporating more decaf, I have noticed that 1, it can potentially stain your teeth a little bit more. 2, that's just anecdotal evidence. I've noticed that there are so many brands out there who pride themselves on being decaffeinated. However, the process that they use requires more chemicals and more additives in order to decaffeinate the coffee beans. The tip of the day is to do a little bit more research and look up different brands that use a method called the Swiss method. This is a method of decaffeinating coffee using water and hydro tools as opposed to using a chemical to decaffeinate the already caffeinated coffee. This is a natural process and it requires no additives, no harmful chemicals. And if you are going to be ingesting something daily, this is something to look into. A couple of brands that I have found that are using this method are as follows. Two things that my clients come to me all the time struggling with is lack of consistent sleep as well as lack of energy throughout the day. Those two things are absolutely tied together. So not only do you want to work with a nutritionist like myself to optimize your diet and your nutrient intake throughout the day to make sure you're getting everything that you need, but in order to supplement our sleep where we get most of our recovery done, I always send them towards Cured Nutrition. Cured Nutrition is a new sponsor of the podcast. I have been using their products for over a month, maybe a month and a half now, and I have to tell you, it is changing my life. Cured products have been designed with the intention to support all aspects of the daily human experience. So whether you're looking for natural energy, whether you're looking for a way to ease anxieties or discomforts, or just hit the reset button with a deep night's sleep, they have all of the answers. My 2 favorite products, which you can actually buy in a bundle, are the Rise as well as the Zen bundle. So this is great because the first time I took it, I actually had no idea how potent these were going to be. And I felt like I was almost bouncing off the raw walls with no jitters though. That was the thing. There was no jitters. It wasn't like you chugged a bunch of coffee or took an Adderall. It was such a calm rise in energy. So I love the Rise and the Zen. You can shop that bundle on the Cured Nutrition website and make sure you're using the code HTH to get 20% off. Always check out the code HTH. I believe you can put it on a subscription. If you can't put it on a subscription, set a reminder. You know you're going to want these. The sleep pills have been absolutely life-changing. My boyfriend and I both use them. It encourages relaxation. It combats stress. It promotes deep sleep and REM sleep cycles. So you can wake up refreshed without feeling super drowsy. So this actually helps you stay asleep when you fall asleep, which is, I think, a huge issue that people are having. So this has things like magnesium, reishi mushrooms, it has valerian root, a little bit of hemp extract, no CBD, or it's all CBD, no THC, and I'm telling you, this is changing my sleep game. Sleep is where muscle is made. Sleep is where fat loss is had. Sleep is where our recovery happens. It gets our brain working optimally. It helps us to reset. So if you're not seeing results that you need and you're also not sleeping well, what are you doing? Make sure you're checking out curednutrition.com and use the code HTH. You can check out the Zen Rise bundle in the show notes. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's episode. You can use Allegro coffee, which is the decaffeinated organic French roast. I like the Allegro coffee because you can find it in a lot of spaces. I know Whole Foods tends to carry it. I don't think Trader Joe's does, but I know that there are a bunch of other large, I think Harris Teeter probably has it. It's definitely available easily online, I believe, even on Amazon, but it's the Allegro coffee decaf organic French roast. You can also find the decaf caribou blend or caribou decaf. There is also Dunkin' Donuts decaf medium roast, Folgers decaf classic, Pete's Coffee decaf Major Dickinson's blend. This one I definitely have found at Harris Teeter. It's again Pete's Coffee decaf Major Dickinson's blend. Those are the only ones that I'm going to go through today. But here's what I will also say. Coffee does, since it's so mass produced and you have to get it wet in the process, there are high tendencies for mold. So be careful of this when you are purchasing your coffee and try to purchase organic as often as possible. This will help to eliminate any added toxins that could be in the coffee. Organic, Swiss method, and if you can find brands that do their due diligence as far as mold prevention, that is great as well. Or mold, if they do mold detection, I would look that up as well, just because mold toxicity and mold buildup in the body can show up in lots of different ways that we might not expect. And if you're going to be eating or drinking something every single day, then why not do your due diligence, spend $2 extra and get an organic or Swiss method type. Wonderful. That was tip number 1. I hope you all enjoyed it because I certainly think it's important. A couple of questions for today's episode. Someone asked, everyone always says, heal your gut. All problems stem from your gut. But how? That's a great question. I think a lot of people hear the word gut health and they think, oh, okay, then I just need to take a probiotic. Or, oh, I am feeling constipated. I think something's wrong with my gut. Which all of these things are symptomatic of an dysbiosis or imbalance in the gut. But what we really are looking at achieving is a balance in the gut, getting it back to symbiosis. And this is going to require a variety of different fibers, like we've talked about in previous episodes. We had a whole Q&A episode on gut health as well. But it would be trying to achieve balance and symbiosis in the gut, which has come from a variety of different foods and fibers stemming from plant sources often. It is doing your best to pinpoint and target what overgrowths in your body you have. A lot of types of gut bacterial overgrowth can show up from too much sugar. It can show up from too much acid. It can show up from just eating the same things over and over. There are a lot of different brands and products out there who will do gut testing treatment, often done by stool sample. I think that this is just personally, if I were to do one, which I'm strongly considering having someone on soon to talk about this, but having a stool sample as a way of identifying what could be going on in your gut, I think would be probably the most advantageous way to track what's going on, because it's something that, yes, it's changing often, but a stool sample, I feel, would bring the most legitimate feedback from a protocol standpoint. To give a resource for anyone who's interested in these types of tests, I would definitely look into, we have had Courtney on a number of times, but her name is Courtney Bursage, and she helps run the podcast Ancient Health Podcast, and she has a holistic foundation as well as a functional diagnostic practitioner, meaning she can read different protocols and diagnostic tests that you may get back, and she has tons of recommendations for different gut health tests and hormone tests and panels that you could be taking. So you can definitely reach out to her, organic_blondie on Instagram. She is such a wealth of knowledge. That is who I would reach out for in order to figure out what test may be right for me, and then maybe work with her to figure out diagnostics. If you are going to do a gut health diagnosis or protocol, or just look into it, what I would also say is make sure that you are finding someone who's going to work with you afterwards to help set up a protocol. Or if they're not going to help set up a protocol, then have them at least run you through what your results mean. Because if you're just ordering something and then they're going to just send you your results, if it's not broken down into more digestible, no pun intended, more digestible information, then I wouldn't waste your money, because as good as the test is, it's only going to be as good as your understanding of it as well. So bring that to someone that you know is a functional diagnostic practitioner or anyone who deals in the functional medicine space. That's what I would do. Even me, I feel like I know a decent amount, but I still wouldn't know. I wouldn't know off the top of my head numbers to look into, what type of vitamins or nutrients I'm depleted in or over efficient in. That's what I would do. But little things that you can do to make sure that your gut is staying happy and healthy, and this is just on a general level to answer this question. If you are still interested in looking up the gut health protocols and the testing, do that. But in the meantime, simultaneously adding in lots of different types of fruits and veggies. So adding in a variety of fibers and changing those things up. I think eating seasonally is the best way to do it. Washing your fruits and your vegetables. If you are dealing with a lot of different gut issues and you have constant stomach aches, constant diarrhea, or constipation, maybe lay off probiotics until you have consistent intake of water, like a lot more water than normal, a lower intake in processed sugars or refined carbs. So things like white bread, white pastas, or cereals, sugars, candies, soda, removing some of that first so that you can get a better picture of what's going on, because it could be as simple as, hey, your gut has a candida overgrowth where you're just having way too much sugar and your body is reacting to it, and it's making everything else inflamed, and it's getting harder for other parts of your body to communicate with each other because you have such an overgrowth of candida as well. That's what I would really look at right now. Make sure you're sleeping regularly. You have, a window of maybe 1 hour that you're trying to go to bed by, same as waking up. Even if you have the opportunity to start your day later. For instance, I didn't have my first call until around 9:45 today, but I knew, okay, I'm still going to wake up at 6:40 because that's what time I have been waking up historically throughout the past couple of weeks. And I just know, hey, my body's going to be used to this. I know that I'll operate better if I don't hit snooze 10 different times. That's one option. Reducing sugar and adding in organic vegetables, as well as making sure that you are handling and addressing stress levels. If you are in a constant level of fight or flight, whether that be from fear, from constant travel, find some way to either, if it's something more deep-rooted, maybe this is a time to seek some sort of counseling, meditation practice, some way to help to downregulate your nervous system, which is going to help you to find more calm in your day, which is going to help all muscles relax, which will help all of your internal systems communicate with each other more effectively. Great. I love that question. And the great thing about gut health is that when we ask these questions, we can go all day with these things. Next question is, do you ever switch up your protein supplement or your green supplements for optimization? That's a great question. I personally have been consuming the Organifi greens powder for, I want to say, the past 7 months. I was actually just on the phone with my rep from Organifi yesterday, and we re-signed for another 6 months because I can't say enough good things about this company because of not only the way that they operate, the way they treat the employees, but there are not a lot of companies out there who are who find it as important to reduce the amount of glyphosate, which is a hugely harmful carcinogenic chemical that can be found in so many supplements, or the amount of times that companies are just using a ton of different supplements and a ton of different ingredients just to put it on the label and make it look more attractive and appealing to a consumer, but also to have organic ingredients. That is something that I really, really strive to be consistent with, especially with a product that I'm taking every day. Let me give you an example, and this is why I have been pretty consistent with just this one brand. So many different companies are coming out with superfood and green juice blends. The reason I like this one is because cortisol levels are highest in the morning, and that's your fight or flight, your stress hormone, and that's healthy. That's how they should be. But when you do this coupled with coffee or a high intensity workout, something along those lines that's going to rise your cortisol levels even more during the morning, then the reason I like Organifi's green juice is because it also has adaptogens in it that will help you to, again, regulate the nervous system. It has medicinal mushrooms in it that are intentionally set to help to balance your hormones, balance your stability. It can even aid in weight loss. And again, fine, I'll let this be the ad. This is a plug, but Organifi, you can always use my code HTH for 20% off. They just came back out with the travel packs of the green juice powder. I'm actually heading to Chicago tomorrow, and then from Chicago flying to Philly for work. Never been to Philadelphia, really don't know anything about it. If you have any good recommendations, let me know. We're going to be staying probably 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. Don't ask me where, don't know, have no idea, haven't even booked my hotel. I hope the company doesn't know that. But I'll be heading there, and every morning that I travel, I'll give you an example here. I was in Charlotte for work last week, and I was there for 4 days. 3 of the days I had the green juice in the morning. I would wake up at 6, go downstairs and either do like sprints or Pilates or just slow weighted movements because I was on my period and I was not trying to get crazy, but I knew I needed movement. I'd be sitting all day long. This led me to have my morning juice, my green juice in the morning, and then I would have a little bit of decaf and I'd feel good. And I would have normal meals throughout the day, pretty balanced. I might have like a snack throughout the day just because we had them from the catering. And then there was one day, it wasn't even the last day. It wasn't like, hey, it's the last day, screw it, whatever, throw in the towel, we're just going to have some treats. I missed having the green juice. I still did my workout. Everything else in my morning routine was consistent, but I didn't do the green juice. I think it was just because I forgot because I was doing my hair and that takes forever, or I don't remember what it was that I said, oh, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. Like I'll miss a day. It's no big deal. I guess I was rushing out the door. And I am not kidding you. I usually would have my green juice around 8:15, and at 10:15, I had a brownie. I was starving. I was falling asleep, crashing, craving, even though I had protein, carbs, totally balanced meal for breakfast. Something about it, I could not stop reaching for quick fixes, quick sources of energy. That is something I would love to get away from. And I genuinely feel like when I do take the green juice powder, I am setting myself up for success by filling in the nutrient gaps earlier on in the day so that my body, if it's craving something sugary, if it's craving something sweet or a treat like that, it's because I actually want it, or because hormones or whatever, not because I am deficient in a certain nutrient. Does that make sense? It just helps me to be able to understand my hunger cues a little better, right? That's one thing. I don't really change up the products. I don't change up the green juice powder. I don't change up the protein. I'll do vanilla or chocolate, and I have been for the past 7 or 8 months, and I will continue to do so. Jake and I both love it. We go through a tub a month because we use it in our oatmeal. Sometimes I use it in my coffee or in smoothies. It's easy, and I really, really enjoy it. And the flavor is great. It blends. It is creamy and rich. It comes in a massive package. No, I haven't changed it up, to be quite honest with you, to answer your question. That is a long-winded way of me saying, no, I don't really switch that up. Do I switch up other supplements once in a while? Yes, but the staples I keep with those because there's really no reason for me to switch if nothing's if nothing's going wrong, because I know that I have a variety in my diet. I know that I have lots of hydration happening. And I know that I'm not just relying on that. That's, again, why it's called a supplement. It's not a replacement. It's called an actual supplement to supplement an already healthful and mindful, abundantly nutrient-rich lifestyle. Okay, those are the only two questions I'm going to get to today because I want to give you the second tip of the day. Okay. Tip number 2. This is something that I've been doing for the past, I guess I've been doing it intermittently for the past couple of years, but only in the past 6 months have I been really adamant about doing it. So not just because of my sensitive skin, but because of all the harsh colorants and chemicals and perfumes, dyes, bleaches that are in so many household cleaning products, specifically in laundry detergent. Why couldn't I remember that? Especially in laundry detergent. With laundry detergent, there are perfumes and dyes, fumes, chemicals, different fillers that help to create the sudsy effect, and especially just binders in general that are really harsh. Like if you essentially were to have this on your skin for any long period of time, it seeps into your pores. Your skin is your largest organ. Your epidermis is your largest organ. And there's no way in hell that I want all of those chemicals to be seeping in through my skin. I don't feel right about it. I sleep on my pillowcases every night. And if I want them to be clean, I don't want them to be filled with chemicals that are going to be right next to my eyes, nose, face, mouth, that I'm inhaling, coming into my lungs. It's just not what I want. It's just covering you up all the time, unless you're walking around naked all the time, which, I mean, in a dream world, that would be great, but it's just not our reality. We're wearing clothes all the time, so I don't want chemicals all over my body. All of this to say, I do a natural detergent. I think we're doing Lowry's right now, I want to say. I accidentally got, here I am, such a hypocrite. I actually did get a scented kind. It's a lavender scented kind. I did not mean to. I don't know why. I just thought, oh, I love this brand. I know the ingredients and I trust this brand. I'm going to use this one. Another one that's really good is 7th Generation. Unscented, uncolored, no dyes, no bleach, no perfume, all organic. And I usually use a concentrate, and then it works the same. It's more effective. You don't have to use a shit ton of this ingredient. That's highly what I recommend. But some people are like, but I like my clothes to smell like laundry. I like everything to smell good. Who doesn't? Okay, you're not special because you want to smell good, but it's no excuse for buying a bunch of bullshit detergent that is full of harsh chemicals. Spend $1 or $2 extra on a higher concentrated natural ingredient. But then here's the kicker. Go onto Amazon and order 6 or 7 or a little pack of essential oils. I got ones that I think I had Lily of the Valley. I think we did eucalyptus. We had jasmine and a few other scents that I can't remember. I think maybe vanilla was in there, or orange citrus peel. It was great. I went to Target and got a handful of those, what are they called? Washcloths. Hello. Washcloths that, you can buy for $5. They're almost disposable, but I keep them on top of the laundry. Every load of laundry that I do, I throw everything into the washing machine, and then I basically douse. I'll do like 10 different dabs or blots, shakes of any essential oil that I select that day onto one of these washcloths, and I throw that in with it as well, so that it's not going directly onto my clothes, but the clothes are being washed around the scent of eucalyptus or lemon or gardenia, honeysuckle, whatever fucking smell you want to have on there. It has been awesome, because I know that these essential oils are natural. You can get organic ones. They're one ingredients. It's just the extract. It's fantastic. I'm obsessed with this formula, this format. Why don't people do this more? Sometimes my boyfriend will shake some of the essential oils into the, like the pull-out container that you throw the detergent into. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it's more effective, and I think it works a little bit, I think the smell is a little bit more pronounced if you do it directly with the washcloth with the other clothes, because otherwise I think it gets washed out with too much water and it just doesn't make it all the way. That's my opinion. That's what I would do. I would replace your laundry detergent with an all-natural, non-scented, no bullshit. Do a little bit of your research. Low carcinogen. You can go on that ewg.com to figure out which are the least harmful chemical wise. And then I'm telling you, this will not take up any more time in your laundry, maybe 5 seconds. You twist it out, dab, 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 and then throw it in there. And you will notice just this light little scent around your clothing, and you won't feel like, it's almost like if you are sweating wearing a t-shirt and you like wipe your upper lip with your t-shirt, then you can almost smell on your upper lip the smell of the laundry detergent. Some people like that, but to me, it just feels like I'm putting chemicals on my face, and I'm just so not down for it. Like if I go to someone's house or am at a space where I'm using someone else's towel or it's almost an offensive smell. To me, it's like fabuloso. It's too chemical. It's too bleachy. I'm not into it. It doesn't smell natural to me at all. That is my tip number 2. I hope you all love it. Either way, that is my rant for the day, and I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you're on a walk. I hope that you are outside enjoying some weather. To be honest with you, it is so motherfucking hot in Charleston that I am someone who embraces the sweat, embraces the sun, embraces the heat, so much SPF, but I need to get my walks in. It has been a challenge. It feels like when I used to live in Arizona, it would be July or August in Arizona, and it's just painful. Like the water at the pool is hot. You can't sit on the chairs because it will singe your skin. You come back with 3rd-degree burns, and it is so hot. You have to wear oven mitts to get into your car. If you opened the door we lived in an apartment, my roommate Shayna and I would open my apartment door just to go walk to the car in the morning to get to work or the gym. It would be 7 a.m. Open up the door to our house. It feels like you're opening an oven. It feels like you're preheating an oven, and you open the door with your face near it, and the hot, dry convection hits you in the face. If you've ever done that, that's what it's like living in Arizona. You're welcome for the analogy. Now, fast forward 5 years living in Charleston, and here I am talking about the weather. Shut the hell up, Liza. Nobody wants to hear about the weather. Like, we get it. It's hot. But what it's like right now, opening up, like, especially after it rains, then it's like 100 degrees the next day. It's as though you are washing dishes in the dishwasher, then you open it up midway, and the hot steam hits you up in the face. That is what it's like right now. So if I don't have anything to do, it's more just that my skin gets so dried out that if I take too many showers, and when you go for a walk here for 15 minutes, you have to come home and take a shower. You're dripping wet. And when I say dripping, I mean I can bring my hand across my shoulder or my cleavage and flick water off. That is it. It is sweaty. Some people don't sweat, and I just really honestly resent those people right now. Hello. I hope everyone has an incredible rest of the week. Reminder, if you want to book a strategy call, they're free. Figure out if working together is a good idea. If it is, hell yeah. If it's not, I'll leave you with some clarity, and maybe we can work something else out. That sounded salesy. I don't mean it like that. I'm not like, all right, we'll find a price. I don't mean it like that. I just mean if you need more clarity or resources, then I'm happy to give it to you there. Also, Philly recommendations, please let me know. Chicago recommendations, we're going to some botanical garden for a wedding. I'm very excited about it. I just found a pair of shoes at Uptown Cheapskate, and they are fire. I'm going to honestly crush this wedding. I feel really good about my looks. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next Thursday with an amazing interview. I cannot wait. We're going to talk all about UTIs and childbirth and home birth. We're talking about holistic healthcare. We're talking about nutrition, raising kids healthfully. We're talking about sugar. We go everywhere. I'm pumped. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you next week. Make sure you rate, subscribe, review, leave us 5 stars, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.